Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation on literature review, and this presentation is for our applied data science course. This is myself Prosanto Deb and my team member is MD Al-amin. Our paper title is Fake Profile Detection on Social Media. Thanks to our honorable teacher for giving us the opportunity to present this part. In our first paper, the author proposed a deep neural network based approach for detecting the fake profiles in social networks. The main research aim was to identify the minimal profile data needed to detect the fake profiles, and they have used 16 features, and from almost 10,000 data they have labeled 68% as legitimate and 32% as fake accounts, and it detects the fake profiles almost 99.4% accuracy, and the author claims that it is equivalent to the achieved findings based on the bigger datasets and more detailed profile information. So let's discuss how they have found or managed the datasets from a social network. They have used web crawling for based on the followers and posts, and they have find a user list of legitimate and fake accounts both combined, and from them the based on the username they have used API to get the number of followers or followed and the number of posts, and using manual labeling, and they have identified or labeled the legitimate and fake accounts. From the featured list, here we can see the number of features used in this paper. Okay, now let's discuss about the methodology. They have proposed a deep convolution neural network based approach, and they have shown in the architecture we can see the input features, and from in the convolution in the hidden layers in the convolution parts. First of all, we have the feature maps where we the input is multiplied and the summation function is added, and then based on the feature maps is basically needed to find out unique features from this input program, or from the input features, and using the max pooling it reduce the dimension of this feature size, and at every stage the convolution part is performed, and at the last and the topmost pooling is performed. And in the classification part, we have a fully connected layer to and we have a fully connected layer to predict the output variable. Okay, so in this they have proposed in their proposed methodology, and they have mentioned that to reduce the overfitting issue, and they have used the share they have shared the weights in among the neurons, and to minimize and the number of profiles or the number of features required, they have reduced the number of degrees of freedom. In the results, we can see that the proposed deep neural network based found a better accuracy among the other methods. In this paper, they have proposed a scalable framework for using the supervised machine learning pipelines to identify the clusters of the fake accounts on LinkedIn. So the cluster level accounts are identified because they are basically works rapidly in compared to the account level fake accounts. So in the cluster level features, and these features were exclusively fed into the random forest and logistic regression and SVM models, and the authors found that the random forest algorithm performs better than the others. Now let's discuss about the methodology. The first step is to grouping the accounts into clusters, and then after grouping the accounts, the machine learning algorithms are applied into each only the cluster level features as input, and the features in the feature construction part, they have taken only the features they have found at the registration time. For example, the registration time, or for example the registration IP address, or the username or email, basically short parts, or the short value, user generated value. Then in their implementation was basically the preparing the cluster builder, which generates the cluster of the account, and then profile featureizer, it is basically extracts the features from the cluster data and prepare, and after that, and the account scorer, it basically in this part, This component trains the machine learning models and evaluates them on new data to identify the fake account clusters. So in this methodology, we can see these three parts. The cluster builder is making the clusters. Here we can see the account clusters, cluster 1 and cluster 2. Then these clusters goes to the profile featureizer to extract the features from them, and after extracting the features, it goes to the account scorer, where the machine learning algorithms are um, performed to find the scored accounts. In among three of the machine learning algorithms, um, the random forest. So among three of the machine learning algorithms, here the random forest is basically performed the random forest is basically performed a better area under the curve and area under the rock curve value, and we can see in the in both the in sample data and out of sample data, random forest is performing better. Here the random forest area under the curve is greater than the others. Okay, so here the authors used 5 machine learning algorithms on the KNN, SVM, artificial neural network, and Bayes and C 4.5 decision trees on Twitter datasets, and they have tested using four-fold cross validation. In this part, the authors basically use two validation ratios. One is 70-30 and another is 80-20, and they have found that 70-30 is ratio is works better for accuracy and error rate, and 80-20 ratio is better for resource consumptions. And among the 5 learning algorithms, they have found that SVM and artificial neural network was effective classifier. Okay, so in the data set at the beginning, and they have found lots of data sets, and they have found that the Twitter data sets is vastly used in this domain. So they have used the Twitter data sets, and they have separated different topics based on this domain, and they have found that working in the spamming or bot detection or fake profile detection will be more valuable. Okay, so here this is simple methodology where the tutor dataset is used, and using the data pre-processing, the data is split into training and testing. Then using the machine learning algorithm, they train a model and validate the performance. In among them, we can see the ANN and HVM provides better accuracy for the 70-30 ratio. If we see some charts, then here we can see that for the 70-30 ratio, and the accuracy is looking better, and for the memory consumption or the power consumption, the 80-20 performs better. So in this part, the fake profile is recognized using a Spark ML based process. Spark ML is basically a machine learning module of Apache Spark. This is basically used for working with large volume datasets, and they have used only random forest classifiers to see the performance of this classifier, and they found that it basically accurately it worked accurately 93% to finding the fake profile, and the 7% is a false positive rate. Okay, so in this methodology, they have gathered original and fake data in a combined data, and after reading the CSV file, and they have used the Spark ML libraries to train that data in the random forest classifier, and using the trained data, they have predicted the outcome and plot the data into the confusion matrix, and they have seen and the model accuracy, shown the model accuracy and calculations. Here we can see the proposed Spark ML based methodology works better than the others. So in this part, the authors have worked with the supervised machine learning techniques, and the authors have shown some information on the what on the security threats, how they have labeled using the social threats, traditional threats. And the social threat was labeled a fake profile and it can be removed, and in traditional threat it can occur phishing and malware. And they have identified fake profile in three ways. The human fake profile, suppose a human is creating a fake profile. A bot, for example, a fake profile can be a machine generated. And the cyborg is basically a fake profile is created by a human, and then it is works malicious, it performs malicious activities using the system or the machine. So they have designed a basic machine learning technique workflow that all the other authors, all the others researchers have done in this domain. And that is basically the user details, and is basically the data collection, then feature extract the features, it can be the profile attributes, and then machine learning based classification, then the decision making, and finding that the profile is real or fake. In this paper, they have done a comparative analysis on the other on the other contributions, and both the advantages and disadvantages are mentioned here. Here are some results of the existing contributions. Okay, so this part is basically from my team member MD Al-amin. Due to some personal reasons, he could not join in this video, so I will basically give a short description of these papers. So here the authors used a hybrid machine learning model based on the logistic regression and gradient descent algorithm. The dataset contains almost spamming account, almost 4,000 spamming accounts and almost 3,000 genuine accounts. In this methodology, the data is gathered from the Instagram API, and in the dataset, and they have built a relational model using gradient descent and recursive learning to predict the results, and gain accuracy, plotting the accuracy results. So here we can see the logistic regression with gradient descent performs better than the other and than the other classifiers. In this paper, they have proposed a logistic regression based methodology. We integrated with particle swarm optimization. And the data here is the features of the datasets, the status count and the number of followers and so on. And in the methodology, they have combined the existing dataset, and using the REST API, they have collected data, and using feature selection, they have prepared the dataset. After feature selection, they have prepared the dataset, splitting it, training and testing, and using the classification model, they have identified the fake account and the genuine accounts. Here you can see the logistic regression with the particle swarm optimization works better than the other classifiers. This is the novel hybrid model for combining using LSTM and GRU, and it also uses the the NLP, basically the natural language processing, for analyzing the text material and revealing the linguistic patterns. Okay, so they have used the popular Twilbot dataset for the Twitter, and the dataset contains basically the ID, profile, neighbor, tweet, and the other data. And in the methodology, from the datasets, and they have parsed the JSON data and extracted the features that they have performed data pre-processing, for example, removing duplicate data, handling missing values. Then after the pre-processing, they perform the feature extraction and NLP processing, then used machine learning or deep learning algorithms, then found then shown the results of from profile shader, which is real or fake. In these results, we can see that the LSTM and GRU perform better than the other algorithms. So that's all for now. Thank you everyone.